Hello, my most amazing artists, and welcome back to art class. This week you are going to be creating a winter knit hat showing some simulated textures or visual texture, and also using some knowledge of lines and shapes to create patterns, and also using colors in those patterns. So we are creating these knit hats kind of similar to this one like I have here, my Rangers one. And we are going to learn step by step how to draw the 3 different parts of the hat and then how to create a visual texture. What visual texture is, it is a texture that you can see but you can't feel it. Remember, texture describes the way that something feels, like your desk or table might be smooth, a cat would be furry and soft, okay? This hat is rather soft because it is knit, and we are going to show kind of that ribbed texture in the hat here at the bottom with the way that we draw it, and then you'll have some creative freedom to add whatever patterns you would like and colors. So let's get started. So to start drawing our winter hats, we are going to start by making the overall shape, and you can basically split your winter hat into 3 different spots. So we're going to start off by making just a little pom-pom. We're just going to mark that out and then you'll color it later. You have the main part of your hat. This is where your design and your patterns are going to go. And then we have the bottom part of the hat, which is the part that gets folded up. And this is where we are going to use lines to show our visual texture or our simulated texture. So, like I said, we're actually going to draw the pom-pom first. So you're just gonna make like a fun pom-pom shape. You don't wanna make it too big. You're actually gonna be using your hand to help you make the shape of the hat. But we want to make sure we put the pom-pom first because usually you can see the pom-pom on top of the hat. So up near the top of my hat, I am just going to use some random lines to make a weird looking pom-pom shape. Now I'm going to use my hand, and remember, if I'm ever going too fast, you can always pause or rewind the video to see what to do. I'm going to use my hand right below my pom-pom. I don't want to go too low because then we're going to have that folded part of the hat here. So I'm going to put my hand right here, and I'm going to draw a line that comes down here and a line that comes down here to make the general shape of my hat. Now I'm a righty, so I'm going to switch my hands. I'm going to move my board just so I can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my hand right here, and then from my pom-pom, I'm going to draw a line that comes down on either side. So you're not tracing your hand, you're just using your hand as a reference to help you make the shape of your hat. Now let's move this back towards you guys. All right, there we go. And now we're going to make the bottom of the hat. So I'm actually going to draw a line that goes across the bottom. I actually have a lot of space left at the bottom of my hat. So if I wanted to, I could make my hat a little longer, but I think I'm just going to leave it because then it might look a little weird and stretched out. So I'm going to draw a line that goes across, and it's going to, curve a little bit. Remember, it's fabric, it's knit. All right, so it flows and it bends and it changes its shape really easily. So you don't want your hat to look really stiff, but you're going to have it come off the ends just a little bit. And then I'm going to come down, out and down, out and down. That creates the illusion of that little fold. Again, like right here, you can see how it comes around the corner there. Makes it look realistic. And bring it along the bottom there. So I have the bottom part of my hat, I have the middle section, and I have the pom-pom. And all of these things I will be coloring in, but again, we are going to add a few more things with our lines to create a simulated texture. Now we want to create a texture that looks a little bit, kind of like this knit look. So it's definitely vertical stripes, and then we're going to add some diagonal lines to make it look like it's knit. So I'm going to start off I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to create some vertical stripes. You don't want to make them too skinny, but you don't want to make them too wide either. Kind of like a nice medium shape. Split up my space, just like that. I'm not going to worry about the areas behind. Now I'm going to go back to one of my middle spaces, and I'm going to do a bunch of
zigzag lines to kind of make, you know, I'm going to split this one down the middle again too. That one was a little too wide. Okay. And this one should be okay. All right. It's okay if they're a little different. It could kind of make it look like the hat's like, you know, bending out wide or coming in. And I'm going to do a bunch of diagonal lines down. Now I'm going to use this one as my starting point to go through the rest of my hat. So now they went this way, so now I'm going to go the opposite way, but I'm going to start at the point where these left off. Like that. And going the other way. There we go. So by creating this kind of up and down zigzag line, it kind of, you know, gives the illusion of kind of that knitted look. Now for the rest of my hat, now this hat, you know, if you want to try and do something with lettering, you can, but I really, you know, wouldn't go that crazy. I want you to think about kind of like those wintry hats or those like kind of ugly Christmas sweater type of designs with like different patterns and things like that. So I want you to fill this space with whatever colors you want, but I want you to create some patterns first. So first with your pencil, you are going to kind of divide it up into sections. So I'm going to divide my hat up into 3 different sections. And I'm actually going to start with my middle section. I'm going to create a skinny little border here. And then I think I'm going to do some circles and maybe some diamonds, some diamond shapes. Okay. Maybe I might do some zigzags inside of these smaller spots, okay? And they don't have to be perfect. Again, it's a knit hat. Bring this one down a little bit there. All right, and then maybe I might do, I'm gonna kind of keep with the circle theme that I have going on here. So I'm gonna do some bigger ones here. Maybe I'll do some of those big ones up here too. And just creating patterns with shapes and things, all right? You don't have to do all circles and diamonds and squares and things like in triangles like I did. You could do more zigzags. You could do little animals, like maybe if you want to do reindeer or, you know, something more festive, holly bushes, poinsettias, you know, things you might see seasonally. You can totally feel free to do that. And then you are going to color it. So I'm going to add a little color to my hat, and then I will come back and show you the finished product.
And here is my finished hat. So the only other step that you could take if you want is you can cut it out. But other than that, just make sure that you follow the drawing steps. Come up with some sort of pattern. Don't copy the one that I did here. Come up with your own. Just use lines and shapes, all of those basic art things that I know that we've learned over the years to create some sort of pattern, and then color it with whatever colors you wish. So you are coming up with a hat, and you are also showing some visual texture with the way that we use the diagonal line pattern down here at the bottom, and you can cut it out if you're done. And just make sure that you take a picture of your artwork and send it to me so that I can give you a grade and see how your hat looks. And I'll see you guys again next time for art class. Bye.